Hello and welcome to another Planes, Trains, and Automobile episode. Now, I'm wrapping up this episode here with another family vehicle in the 350. We've tried out the coupe and the RC. We've gotten the sedan and the ES, and now we're taking on the RX, which is Lexus mid-size SUV. I wouldn't call it the biggest SUV, so I would say it's the mid-size family SUV, and it is exactly what you would want in a family SUV. I will tell you first off right now that I enjoy this car more than I do the ES. Now, the fan favorite is mine, the RC, but the RX has some characteristics that for some reason make me feel like it's a sports car, but yet it's still a family mid-size SUV. All right, so before I get into it, let me say that I do enjoy the body style of this car. I've never been a fan of SUVs in general. Like, I like them now, but growing up I was never a fan of SUVs. But I do like this one, and this one is a mid-size SUV, so it doesn't feel big. It still has a cozy cabin to it, so I really enjoy how that is. Now, one of the things about this 350 in particular, the RX edition, there have been a love for Lexus RV family style vehicles, and this one is no exception. The only deal that I can really say that I feel in this that I did not feel in the ES 350 is there feels like there's some power behind this one. The drive is a lot better than the ES 350. Nowhere near my RC 350, but it's definitely better. Like, I would take this RX over the other ones that are there. So potentially what we have here is a new body style of car that I could like. Now, I do own an SUV, but I don't have a luxury SUV. So with that being said, let's talk about some of these things that make the RX what it is today. Now, let me start by saying I like the pros. It has an attractive cabin. I think the materials in it is really quality because it's Lexus. You couldn't expect anything else, right? The ride makes any road that you're on feel smooth. Like, that's just a given. And unfortunately, the last 350 model we had, the ES, did not give that feeling. It ran a little bit more rugged than I would expect for a luxury sedan, right? The cabin, as far as the trunk is concerned, I would expect a little bit more, but I think that would make the feel of the inside, as this being a 5-passenger vehicle, feel a little bit smaller than it should. Now, this is a 2020 Lexus RX 350, okay? So I'm not gonna act like it's not everything that it could be. It is a solid entry into the midsize SUV class. I think it's quiet. I think it offers a lot of luxury, and it's a lot to be offered when you're driving this thing. All right, now the body style is sleek. Everything that I would expect in a Lexus. I think I didn't like this model back in like 2016 or even below, maybe like before then, if I'm not mistaken, because it had like an egg shape. And Lexus used to have this bubble look about them that I wasn't too particularly keen on. To me, it was the way you can stand out and notice that it was a Lexus if it had any symbols on it. But I wasn't a fan of the bubble shape, nor that egg shape that this RX had. So it changes the body style dramatically, and actually put a smile on my face when I saw it. Like, it looks and feels really good. Now, this does have a 295 horsepower gas-powered V6, 0 to 60 in about 8 seconds, and that feels really good for this to be a mid-size SUV. Not a sedan, not a coupe, not sports bred. There is an F model out here, but it's not sports bred, so it feels really good to get to those certain speeds even in this style cabin. Now, as far as appeal, would I get one for the price point that they have? No, because I think there's other mid-size vehicles that are a little bit cheaper that you get more bang for your buck, and I think are more head turners. But just to sum all of this up, I'm just doing this series on the 350s that I have. Like I said, a coupe, the sedan, and now an SUV, but mid-size SUV. So what everyone else is probably wondering about is the drive. So let's get inside and talk about the drive. All right, so before I talk about the driving, because there's not much you can really talk about with the driving in an SUV, it is what it is. It's an SUV. It drives well, and I've said it earlier that it drives better than the ES. So I'll give you a little bit about it afterwards, but let's talk about this interior. This interior is pretty much defined as Lexus has been doing it recently. Beautiful, beautiful interior. The style is great, and I'm glad that they kept it in all the models. You know, you get in some cars where it'll be a great interior if you have like the best model, but then you'll get like a slimmed down version of it. I am happy to say that no matter what car I got into, all the interior inside the Lexus just screamed attention, screamed luxury, and they all felt good. You know, you have again the clock display that I really enjoy. You know, they kept the CD player. I think the dash trim is great. The only thing I'm not a fan of is well, let me not say I'm not a fan of it, but I do like the trackpad. I think it's a little bit more distracting when trying to select some of the things that you want. But it's an upgrade from that mouse wheel or whatever that they had. So you'll find that in every model now. And I think, like I said, it's a distraction, but it's a well-needed upgrade for the future of the technology. This particular cabin is decked out in the black leather, but it has the great line stitching, of course. I always love the steering wheel of Lexus. They put the same one no matter what vehicle you have. It's not large, it's not tiny like a sports one, but it's right on par with what's needed. So just this interior alone is very nice. Now I can say that the screen on the Lexus, well, in the Lexus RX, it wasn't in mine nor the ES was it as close as it is. It looks like they pulled the screen up at least 4 or 5 inches, and it makes it very easy to access, because this screen here, unlike mine, is touchscreen. So everything about this vehicle has been thought about to give you a safe, comfortable drive while you have your entire family in the car and taking longer destinations. So the drive, there is a sports mode for this vehicle. Just like in all of them, they have a sports wheel that you can turn from eco to sport. I do have the Sport Plus S, but this one, it feels exactly like it should. If you want it to give some some power behind this, like I said, 0 to 60 in 8 seconds. It's not something I expected in a mid-size SUV, but you get it in this Lexus. Now they do go all the way up to like the 450. They do have the sports model, and I don't know if that's just something that I would be looking forward to if I was thinking in the mind frame of getting an SUV anyway. So you can't go wrong with getting the base model 350, like the RX 350. Any of the 350s that you get are great, except for that ES. But anyway, in the top of the category of everything, I would rate my RC, then this RX, then that ES. There are several other SUVs that you can compare these models to, but the RX is my favorite. And there's a couple out there that I do like, but the RX just has the design that I like. And I guess I can't really talk about the cabin or the interior because they all fit what you're getting ready to get, especially if you get the newer models. So yeah, that is the Lexus RX 350. I hope you enjoyed it. Not sure if it swayed your attention of getting an RX, but this was the 350 family, and I just wanted to kind of give an aspect of all three of the different models that I like or I have seen out on the road recently. So stay tuned for that next. Planes, Trains, and Automobile. Catch y'all on the next one.